guy's fight with Rod Tank is going to be absolutely mental. It's Takeru Sagawa, a Kyokushin karate boy who moved into K1, became a champ, and looks like a member of a boy band. He has a Kyokushin karate background, and we're going to break down his pad work training, what he does in the gym. I'm Cage Warriors lightweight champion George Hardwick, 13-2 professional MMA fighter, and let's look at his pad work. So here he is with the main man himself, who's always dressing like a transformer, Masaku, and he's practicing his Chuzoku kicks, ball to the foot. This is how he won in his last fight. Really effective kick, because when he's kicking with the ball of the foot, here he's shadowboxing it, but when he's kicking with the ball of the foot, it's concentrated across a really small surface area, and it can be very hard to catch. Boom. Knee chambers. See how he kind of bent on this leg before throwing it, and then he's extending it as he throws it. He has a little squat down, which adds a little bit more power, and when he lands the kick, it's going to be with the toes. See how if he landed with the flat of the foot, wouldn't be much power, and it'd be quite catchable, but he's digging the toes in. Everyone loves a toe kick, so we get back to it. There he uses it in the left. See how he internally rotates at the knee to guide it into the ribs. Padman throwing back, like any good padman doing, throwing back. This is more like a finisher drill, slightly more square stance. We don't really see all of them, but he's kind of throwing these combinations, ending on the left hook and then moving into the kicks. Right leg kicks, left kicks to the back leg. The man is padded up so much that you can kind of almost treat him like a heavy bag. This is more of a finishing work, or maybe you might put it as a burnout at the start of a round and then practice keeping your composure, but this is like the burnout at an end of a session. We're going to see with Takeru, compared to Masaki Noiri and compared to Yuki Yoza, he doesn't do as fancy combinations in the gym. A lot of it's just cross hook like this. Cross hook, see how he shifts his right leg across as he throws that cross hook? As he throws the hook on that cross hook. So I normally teach a lot of like pure coaching. You would teach, keep that back foot planted, transfer your weight back to it when you throw a left hook, either to the head or body. But as he throws, he's going to, stupid little app here, but as he throws, he's going to shift his right foot out. So he's going to shift his right foot this way as he throws the left hook. It's going to add a little bit of power, and it's kind of more for cage cutting than your regular left hook to the body. Throws the right straight and then shifts his his right foot behind it. Throws the right straight, left hook body, and shifts the right foot into place. Sometimes it can mean he can sneak a kick in very quickly as well. As his partner squared up, he can hit that toe kick to the body. See how he hit it quite straight? Rather than angling it in at that triangle kick angle like he was doing before, he's just going straight there with that left teep. He went straight. Boom, left kick. There's this left kick thing where he keeps his foot flat and not turned out all the way. He turns out enough so that it's coming in and across into the target, but it's not turned out all the way. And one of the reasons he does that is because it helps him get back to his stance a bit quicker. He's often kicking, blasting the kick, getting back to his stance, and then blasting the punches. We'll see here. So there's the knee, but he's throwing this kick, landing back in his stance, and he can often fire off his punches quite quickly. And it's that kind of kick that comes at a bit of a 45-degree angle, aiming to get under the elbow, slightly different to the tie all the way around. There, again, he's blasting these are slightly fancier combinations, but still it's a lot of cross hook, maybe a body hook and a low kick. Not as fancy as the Masaki Noiri or the Yuki Yoza combinations. This is American Padman holding these slightly different combinations for him. But he's putting his cross slips. That's almost like a little dip right straight in there. So he's throwing his combination, and mid-combination, he dips back. It's kind of a slip, but even if the guy isn't punching, you can just use that as a means to throw off the timing and load the weight onto the back leg. See how the knee is bent, the heel's off. Sorry, let me clear this. See how that back knee is bent, back heel off the floor as he's dipped. He's thrown his left shoulder forward slightly. He's loaded it up, and it would look quite obvious, but in the flow of a combination, it can throw off the timing instead of just a left, right timing. That little dip can act as defense if they are throwing a jab back, but it can also throw off the timing and load up the shot. So we'll put it back a little bit, rewatch this combination here. Boom. And then the slip into the two. Lots of left knees. He has really good knees, and this aggressive punching style, obviously it buys the respect where people are going to throw their hands up, and he can just slot that knee in very close. As well, if you're an aggressive guy who doesn't use incredible amounts of head movement, like Takeru isn't a great head mover, sometimes he can just throw loads of punches, and instead of trying to slip the punches, he'll just throw a big knee in, jump in, and that'll kind of close the distance. It'll smother the other guy's work whilst landing a big hard body shot. A lot of kind of Dutch drills, cadence striking. We see here left hook to right kick, right straight to left kick. A lot of the cadence striking we see on his pads, whereas we see a lot more same side work with the Yuki Yosa and Masaki Noiri pad work. A lot more same side combinations, whereas here a lot of it is very cadence. Right hook, left hook. There's a double up on the body hook to head hook, and often moving into the low kick. More head movement based drills. The idea with a lot of these drills, some people don't like these long sequence combination drills with the hands. They think they're a bit for show, and possibly it is a little bit for his Instagram. But the idea is that you build your balance whilst throwing longer combinations, and it's not that these full combinations will come out in a fight. It's just very small percentages of it will come out in a fight. I think they're worthwhile to do. They're worthwhile to do sometimes. Make sure you can keep your balance, so long as you're keeping your knees bent and rotating your shoulders into the shots, rather than what some people do, where they're literally just kind of doing like B-Tech Kung Fu, B-Tech Jeet Kune Do by just flicking their arms out. There's a flying knee. He kind of shifts himself across to the rear hand line to fit the right knee through the gap, and here's a repeated left kick. So he's up on the toes, but because there was quite an interesting beef between Takeru and Jonathan Haggerty about left kicks, is as he left kicks, he will twist on the foot, he will bring his heel off the floor when he's throwing repeated kicks, as we're going to see here. He's bringing his heel off the floor, but it's not like a complete tie rotation where the heel would fully turn this way and the toes would fully turn all the way over there. There's still more like a 45-degree angle to it. Possibly not as purely powerful if you measured it on a arbitrary UFC force cube as a full-on tie kick, but the whole idea is that you can get back into your base for punching quite quick, and it comes up at a 45-degree angle under the elbow, like a lot of karate kicks do. Repeated kicks, he's throwing it in a slightly more Thai style there, but as we see on this last frame, he doesn't fully rotate the toes over. He still keeps the toes kind of 45-degree, which has its advantages and disadvantages, and the kick's coming up a little bit more like 45-degree angle here. Boom. Not a full turn of the shoulders. Shoulders slightly more square on impact than a Thai kick, but oftentimes Kyokushin karate is fought a lot more square at the shoulders in Thai. Often stance will fall together where feet are square and kicks can come off of either side very quickly. If you like the breakdown, subscribe to the channel, look at the Patreon, use code HARD10 at RevGear. Let me know in the comments who you want to see me break down next. Subscribe, like, algorithmic nonsense. Get yourself some Pisty pistachio cream because it tastes unbelievable.